Of the young woman killed after mistakenly driving up the wrong driveway is speaking out today after the jury returned a guilty verdict.
Murder in the second degree, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
66-year-old Kevin Monahan showed zero emotion as he learned his fate. The jury deliberated for just an hour in a case that shocked America. Kaylin got her justice. While we would trade anything to bring Kaylin back, this was the best possible outcome, a family statement said. Monahan opened fire on a convoy of young people who drove up his private driveway in upstate New York looking for another house. When they realized their mistake, they turned around and were leaving when Monahan opened fire from this porch. 20-year-old Kaylin Gillis was shot in the neck and killed. The case was one of an epidemic of shootings of innocent people who came to the wrong home by mistake in 2023.
What is wrong with us as a country?
So the video I just played actually happened very close to me. As a matter of fact, the courthouse that it was being presented in was, my God, maybe 15 minutes from where I live. So this really came, it really struck home with me. And I own firearms, and there is nothing wrong with owning firearms. But people knock all the time when you have a less lethal. Now, I just did a posting entitled, "Come on, Berna, let's do this." And I got slammed with a ton of people who are so against the less lethal community. Let me read some of these mean posts here. Maybe just buy a firearm and not shoot CO2 pellets at a prepared home intruder. That's one of them. And let's see here. There's nothing wrong with cool stuff, brother, but this is actually super dangerous self-defense advice. You're going to get some poor person killed who doesn't know any better. Another one. I literally have a Glock with gold dots and an AR-15 sitting next to me. I don't need a beefed up airsoft rifle for protection. I do understand where they're coming from, but having the right tool is so much better than just thinking that you're just going to kill anybody who's on your property. And in this case of what I just showed you with Kevin Monahan, I didn't know him, but a lot of neighbors did know him, and he was kind of a cocky, self-righteous type of a person. You cannot always use a firearm. A firearm is not always the answer, people. Sometimes having a firearm and also having a less lethal is going to be so much better. You're not going to use a drill when you need to use a hammer. So why do people keep knocking the less lethal, the Bernas, the other things that don't kill? I'm not quite understanding. So let's go into the other room and let's take a look at some of the weapons I do own, and let's talk about them a little bit. And then it's dark out now, which is great, because now we're going to take you a look around the property and why I have less lethal and lethal. So hold on, let's go take a look. HDX68. Awesome gun. It's been fully modified. I've got Grimberg jewels in it. What I really like about this is all you need to do is tap the bottom and you're good to go. I've got a light on it. Excellent rifle for self-defense. And of course it has this right here, so if you needed to really jab somebody, you could. Excellent piece of equipment. The Berna TCR. Not, of course, the highest jewels that you're going to get, but I do really like it. It's very small, very compact, and definitely has a place in my less lethal division. And we're going to go over a little bit more of why I am saying this. Police carbine. Got plenty of oomph to that little baby. And what I love about this is I also carry this in my van when I need to. Actually, almost every day it goes in and out with me just to keep it with me. Who knows why, but you just never know. And of course, I've got my Berna SD. I also have an LE, but it's back for repairs right now. Modified FSC First Strike, but I don't have the longer barrel on it right now, but I do have that and the compensator, just not in there right now. For something a little bit more lethal, but not quite total lethal, is my Edgun Leshy. I really like this, also for self-defense. It's very small, very compact, and I love the fire right here. This is a 30 caliber, but I love how it's hot, then it's cold there. And I also have a light on it for nighttime, of course. Anyhow, that is an awesome, this is shooting about 60 foot-pounds, right around there. So it's got quite a bit of oomph. This guy, of course, we all know these two little guys, also modified, work very well if needed. Now, let's get to the guns that are not. This is a firearm. This is not a less lethal. And I have a place that I keep this all the time. And it is a semi-automatic, but plenty of firepower. And this is really my go-to that I even store with me at when I go to bed. This is the US Survival, and it is calibered in 22. It has the 8-round clip in it, and I keep it just like that. It's easy to pull this and just start firing if need to, but it is super lightweight, super compact. I mean, you can go around the corner with one hand and shoot this thing. Inside here, everything, if you're not familiar with this, this whole thing breaks down and goes into the handle, which is somewhat waterproof. But also, if I needed another 8-round magazine at 22s, they just sit right in there. This is my go-to at nighttime. This sits beside my bed, but so does my Berna. Now, with all that being said, we are going to take a jaunt outside with my Berna TCR, and I'm going to show you why sometimes I believe something with less oomph is better. So let's go outside real quick. All right, folks, so I'm outside and I'm gonna flip the camera around a little bit. I do have my TCR, which is very easy to operate with one hand, so that's why I grabbed this. And I want to show you around my property a little bit, and I'm going to show you why I would rather use less lethal. So hold on one second. All right, folks, so here is the outside of my deck, and there is my shed. This one's actually where I do all my shooting. It does get heated, and this over here is my regular shed. And way over there, I also have a little green thing set up, and that's where my lawnmower and all that's stored. And I just have to watch my step. Now I'm going to go way back here. Of course, I am using my TCR. And I do have neighbors, but they are a distance. You can see their lights are on over there. And back here, and believe me, when I come back here, I have found the animals, everything else. But here are a couple of snow blowers out here. And let's cut through this way. I'm going to shut the green. There we go. Just shut off the green dot just in case there's a neighbor out there. I do have a neighbor way over there. And here is where my lawnmower, the zippers are broken on. This thing is old. so they don't work anymore. But anyhow, you see in here, there's just a bunch of junk in here. All right, so you're probably wondering why I'm showing you all this stuff. Well, there's a definite reason. First of all, I do have cameras set up just about everywhere, and they do go off. Usually it's just the animal, fortunately. But if there is somebody stealing my stuff, let's say they want to take my lawn tractor for a ride, or they want to grab a snowblower, do I want to shoot them with a 22 or a 9mm? No, I don't. You can't kill somebody because they're stealing your shit. At least in New York State, you cannot do that. That is not legal. And you can see, I'll show you here. All right, there's one of my cameras right up there. So I have them all over the place. There's a spotlight just went on. And anyhow, that is what my yard looks like at nighttime. There is a big kitty cat right there. Where'd he go? I don't know if you can see him. He's right there in the woods. Poking right at. If you can see him or not. Oh, he must have taken off. Oh no, I see him. I saw it. I believe you have to have the right tool for the job. And if you're talking about a standard firearm of any kind and you're protecting your home because somebody's breaking into it, I believe that would be a wise choice over a TCR or anything else. But then again, if that's all you can get because of something stupid that you did in your earlier life, or quite honestly, a lot of these now, I live in New York State, it's hard to buy a rifle these days. And especially a semi-automatic. I'm glad I bought this one I did, because now in New York State you have to have the same as a pistol permit just to buy a semi-automatic. Yeah, so they can be more difficult. But the point is here is that when I'm going around my property, I am bringing out my TCR, my patrol carbine. I'm grabbing those first. I'm not grabbing a regular firearm to go out to see what's going on. And certainly if somebody's stealing something, I am not going to be shooting them. It's illegal in New York State to just shoot somebody because they're stealing, even if they're stealing my lawn tractor, if they're stealing a bicycle out there, you can't just shoot them. But the TCR or something like that, you can make your point pretty well known. They'll leave it, they'll get hurt. They're probably not going to go to the cops anyway because they're going to ask them what you were doing in the yard. It's just not very smart of them. So owning a less lethal is by far going to be something you're going to be using or grabbing probably much more than a Glock or whatever. So for those people who have those mean posts out there saying, I own a Glock and I have this or both of these guns sitting beside my, my couch. First of all, I'm not that insecure. But secondly is, that's fine, but that's only one part of the of an issue, And so anyhow, I just wanted to say it's good to have firearms, but it's also good to have less lethal. You need them both, and you don't want to be going to jail like that Kevin Monahan who shot that girl just because they're going up their driveway. He thought he was having some type of home invasion. So at least if he shot a TCR, even though he shouldn't even be doing that, he'd probably break the window because they're capable of doing it. But it wouldn't have killed that poor innocent girl. And it would have been reported, and he probably would have gotten a slap on the wrist for it. But that's as far as it would have gone. Now he's in jail for the rest of his life. So point is, get yourself a firearm, but don't be knocking us less lethal people, because there's a lot to that you guys aren't understanding. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. Take care. I'll see you guys again soon.